Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some new leak updates to go over for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. More about the DLC, but there's updates to Paradox Suicune, Paradox Virizion, some stuff about the 2023 games. A lot of stuff to talk about today though, so if you're excited for the video, as always, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes, it really helps out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we cover in today's video. Subscribe if you're brand new for daily Pokemon content. Ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, all of these tweets are from Riddler-Q, so you know they're all legit leaks and stuff because everything that he posted in the past year all turned out to be true, as he did for like Legends Arceus and BDSP and stuff like that. He posted these before the games actually came out, so he knew about the DLC like a while ago, but we didn't really know what to make of those tweets. But now the games are out, they make a lot more sense. Anyway, this is the first tweet where he's saying, well, they erased Paradox Suicune and Paradox Virizion data, but that doesn't mean that you can't see them in game. Those three, looking forward to witnessing them. So originally Paradox Suicune and Paradox Virizion were supposed to be in the games. They were not going to be DLC Pokemon, but for some reason, whatever happened, I don't know, someone decided to not have them in the games and actually push them towards DLC. It kind of makes sense because they're version exclusive, and so you'll have to buy the DLC for both games if you want both of Paradox Suicune and Paradox Virizion. So from a monetary standpoint, Pokemon know that they're going to make a lot more money by, I guess, putting them behind a paywall, which isn't great. But the other interesting thing here is he says these three, looking forward to witnessing them. So you got Paradox Suicune and Paradox Virizion, which again we already know, and then he says these three. Now I think that that's the third legendary. I don't think it's like a different Paradox completely, because it wouldn't really make sense to have like one more Paradox unless it was like in both games. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he's talking about the third legendary in this part, but either way, Paradox Suicune and Paradox Virizion were supposed to be in the games originally. This next one is quite interesting because he says Paradox Suicune and Paradox Virizion need to serve their monarch. Is he/she also a P or being a T, which you will know about in the next year? So he says that Paradox Suicune and Paradox Virizion have to serve their monarch, and then is he or she also a P or being a T, which will you know about in the new year. So this is basically like best translation of it. Paradox Suicune and Paradox Virizion need to serve their monarch. Is he/she also a Paradox or being a Titan / trainer / terrestrial, which you will know about in the next year. Now, we already know that Riddler-Q did post about the DLC, saying like who was going to be like the main antagonist or something in the DLC, and some of the options were like a new professor or whatever, but the other ones were Heath and also Geeta as well. Now Geeta, we already made a video last week, I believe, talking about how she could be the new antagonist. You know, she already has the Glibber evolution, I can't remember off the top of my head, which is also present in Area Zero. She says that phrase as well, like the world that she wanted to create, and it's almost perfect to what she envisioned. She basically gives like pretty big antagonist vibes, like not throughout the game, but near the end of the game. Could easily become like an evil person in the DLC. So that's one person that he/she could be that monarch. The other person is Heath, who we know is the author of the Paradox of the Scarlet and the Violet book. So Heath could also be the antagonist as well, who could be this monarch, because they then go on and say, is he/she also a Paradox or being a trainer, which you would know about in the next year. So the trainer would be obviously Geeta. Paradox, you know, I don't know. It says are they a Paradox or a trainer? So yeah, we know that Heath is going to be in the DLC in some way, shape or form, because there's basically text dialogue in the data mines of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that are going to be in the DLC. So Heath is going to be in the DLC. So whether they are the monarch that Suicune and Virizion need to serve, or it could be Geeta. I'm kind of pushing more towards Heath, because there's all that whole imagination kind of idea about the third legendary, and that's how these paradoxes are created. So maybe Heath or Geeta create these paradox forms from their imagination with thanks to the third legendary, and that's basically what these Paradox Pokemon are serving. So yeah, maybe in Pokemon Scarlet, Heath has a Paradox Suicune, and then in Pokemon Violet, Heath has a Paradox Virizion. But yeah, quite interesting that they have to serve their monarch. And then he also goes on to say, you know, is he, she also a P or being a T? I wish he just said he or just said she, because then it would be a lot more, we'd know who they're talking about. Because if he just said she, he'd be talking about Geeta. If he just said he'd be talking about Heath. But annoyingly, he put he/she. Unless there's, you know, Heath in Pokemon Scarlet and Geeta in Pokemon Violet. Maybe like the evil person is actually different in both games as well, just like we had Sada and Turo, which would also be pretty interesting. Although I feel like it'd be a little bit annoying for the game that didn't have Heath, because we've already had Geeta, so I think everyone would kind of want to see Heath. But either way, that's some interesting information there about the Paradox legendaries having to serve their monarch and stuff. Really interesting information there. Either way, moving on to the next one, we've got Riddler-Q saying, you know, Paradox Virizion will keep which typing, grass or fighting. Considering the likelihood of Hariyama keeping fighting type, Virizion would have higher chances of losing this type. Again, this was posted before Scarlet and Violet came out, which is again why it's interesting to go into these like tweets and stuff, because we know each Paradox keeps one of their typing and then gets a different one. So it looks like people are more inclined to go with Paradox Virizion keeping the grass type, but could also keep the fighting type as well. I don't really know what other type it would go as. I don't know if it'd take a typing of one of the other Swords of Justice, maybe like a rock type or a steel type, but that wouldn't really make sense if it kept the fighting type as well, because that would just be the typing of one of the other Swords of Justice. So it would have to be grass and then either rock or steel, or even water for like Keldeo, which is technically, you know, the mythical Sword of Justice. So yeah, I think it's definitely going to keep grass, and I think that Suicune obviously has to keep water because it's just a singular typing. So Suicune will be water something, and then Paradox Virizion will most likely be grass and then something else. Next up, we have this to go over as well. This is the first time that Riddler-Q really has kind of mentioned AZs Floette, and he says, do you think AZs Floette makes it this time, and it like makes it into the game? I mean, if there's ever gonna be like an AZs Floette kind of distribution or just appearing in a game, it would be this one. You know, there's been a lot of theories about AZ and Area Zero. Obviously, the initials AZ literally translate to area, like could translate to Area Zero. There's thoughts that the secret weapon created Area Zero. Obviously, there's all the Kalos stuff with Paldea. And again, the fact that he kind of name-checked it this time gives you kind of thoughts that maybe in the DLC, if we do go back to Kalos, maybe we battle AZ and AZ's Floette is in the game or something. He then goes on to say, do you think Cat Pikachu would get a new member? Do you think Virizion would get the 21st pattern? Do you think more Go exclusive and Scarlet and Violet compatible forms exist? We got so many questions unanswered, but just the fact that he kind of name-checked AZ's Floette for these games is enough to make me believe that potentially we could be seeing AZ's Floette in the games at some point. We'll have to wait and see. Finishing things off though, he said this as well, which is quite interesting. He said 2023 projects are so cool. So in 2023, we're expecting obviously get DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. Again, we don't know how many DLC packs we're going to get for the Generation 9 games. If it's in reference to the Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC pack, the Isle of Arm and the Crown Tundra, then we're probably going to get 2 DLC packs for Scarlet and Violet. One mostly about Area Zero, which we know is pretty much guaranteed at this point. And then the second one of the top right location, whether that is Kalos or just a small location or whatever, we're most likely expecting 2 DLC packs for the Generation 9 game. But the fact that he says that 2023 projects are so cool kind of makes you think we're getting more stuff in 2023. Because I feel like he would have just said, you know, the 2023 DLC are so cool. Unless he is literally just talking about the project as the DLC. But again, I think he would have said that already. So the fact that he said it like this makes me believe that we are actually going to get something else in 2023. Now, we of course are getting Pokemon Day in a few months. So in a couple of months, should I say. So maybe it gets announced in that. But I'm guessing the DLC will most likely get announced in that. Again, could happen in January like Sword and Shields was, but we'll have to wait and see. For me, I feel like Detective Pikachu 2 is very likely to happen next year. Maybe like around April or May time. But apart from that, I don't really know what else would really get released. Like in November, it will probably be around the time one of the DLC packs gets released. So I'm not expecting like a Legends game or a Let's Go Johto or something like that. So yeah, quite interesting that he says 2023 projects are so cool. Whether it means we get extra stuff in the DLC, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, just the way he wrote this tweet makes me definitely think that we are getting some other stuff. Anyway, though, that is going to be everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do consider hitting the like button down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. It really does help out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on everything that we covered in today's video. Again, who do you think that Paradox, Suicune, and Virizion are serving? Like, who do you think this Monarch is? Do you think it is Heath? Do you think it's Geeta? Or do you think it is someone completely different? Let me know your thoughts on it. Also, which one do you like more, Paradox, Suicune, or Virizion? Of course, Suicune is exclusive to Scarlet and Virizion exclusive to Violet. I'm a Violet player. I would definitely like the look of Suicune a lot more, but it is what it is. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. Also, what do you think we could be getting in 2023? Do you think it is just the DLC for the Generation 9 games, or do you think it is going to be something else as well? But yeah, that is everything from me. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell. It's everything from me. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.